This video is sponsored by Trolls! In 2018, one of the worst animated movies ever made was released. That movie goes by the name Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, an absolutely shallow animated movie with music that was fascinating, but everything else just actively annoyed me. Putting together this artificial story of bullcrap and really cringe viewpoints on Spider-Man. It also harbored a fan base that was just the most disgusting group of specimens ever. Because how on earth could anyone love this?
Now, tell me, why is there a sequel? Why?
Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Spider-Man The Spider-Verse is the worst movie I have seen all year. I mean, just what the heck happened? How do you actively make a movie so embarrassingly pointless? I mean, just look at the title. Spider-Man The Spider-Verse. That's it? That's it for the title? Spider-Man The Spider-Verse is probably the worst title I have heard for a movie. You don't own Spider-Man, you jerk. Spider-Man The Spider Poop, because I just stink and this movie stinks and the world fucking stinks. I just hate the title, and that's my first nitpick. You're waiting for a movie to start being a movie, and it just never ever starts. I mean, I can't tell you how actively slow this movie is. I mean, I love long movies. I adore them, especially when there is a point. Killers of the Flower Moon clocks in at 3 hours and 26 minutes, and I sat there locked in. I was engrossed with how the story is told by a masterful director. A month ago, I saw the 4K restoration of Seven Samurai, 3 hours and 23 minutes, and I had the time of my life. Spider-Man The Spider-Verse at 2 hours and 20 minutes felt longer than both of those combined. It was the longest 2 hours of my life. I felt like time froze, like I would be stuck there forever, like I'm being subjugated to torture by some cruel god. The characters in Spider-Man The Spider-Verse, they're just lamos. They're lamos. They're losers that you don't care about because they all act the same. They have the same personality and none of them are distinct. Miles, that Spider-Man asshole. Just look at the animation, the lighting, the set design. It is downright horrendous. Everything about it is horrendous. Everyone involved with this movie should be ashamed. They should hate their lives for making something like this. And to top it all off with a poop flavored cherry, that stupid ending. No, you don't get to. You don't get to do that. I paid for this! Why did I pay for this, dude? Why? 0 out of 10. Do not watch this movie. It isn't worth your money. It's barely worth your time spent alive. And don't come to me telling me that it's a good movie. Or I'll threaten your family.